is smart. I am not gifted when it comes to the computer stuff. All right, so let's talk about Alton. I posted another video that showed the shooting from a different angle. Okay, well, thanks, Shania. Text me. Audio's good, picture's clear. Okay, my son said he's watching too. There's a delay, so what I said, like, behind, so just bear with me. All right, so let's talk about the Alton Sterling case. A little annoyed that we started the conversation with his resisting arrest. We had to start the conversation there, because for a lot of people, that's where the conversation starts and that's where the conversation ends. If you're resisting arrest, whatever consequences should come as a result of that resisting, you ask for it. And unfortunately, that can't be the analysis, because resisting arrest is not a capital offense. And no matter how you look at it, no matter how you analyze this situation, the penalty of death was not warranted in no way, shape, or form or fashion. And it doesn't matter if you bootstrap later a violent criminal history. And did the police officers at the time know that this person that they were encountering was a violent person or had a violent history? If he did, I don't even know if he had a violent criminal history. But it's so much just like the Eric Garner case, in that you've got someone selling cigarettes. This guy here selling CDs or DVDs, and then he's a big guy. He's a big strapping guy, which it's not a crime, but it's awfully intimidating. This sound is driving me crazy. Ted, I need to get my audio person so we can fix this, because it's driving me crazy. Because I can hear the sound now about things that I said 5 minutes ago. I don't know why there's a sound delay. And if it's any tech people that know how to fix that for me, please tell me. Should I put on my headset? Okay, don't text me there's another angle of the shooting, because I already posted it. And if you see something that I didn't post about the shooting, just share it on my page, and I'll post it. Okay. All right. Let's talk about police protocol, right? If the police officers had any reasonable fear that this individual posed a threat to their safety, they should have called for backup. They should have called for backup. If you are engaging with someone who is twice your size or so much bigger than you, or that can dominate you. Now, the way the video starts, it seems that he had already been tased and didn't respond to the tasing. I think we saw that in Eric Garner's case too. I'm not sure if he had been tased as well, but we've seen that where sometimes the tase, if you tase a person, it doesn't affect them, and it could be because their adrenaline is pumping or whatever may have you, and that the tase doesn't have the effect it's supposed to have. Unfortunately, when that happens, the police become more afraid, because they're like, oh my God, he's not succumbing to volts of electricity. Then you see the police officer tackle him from behind. Now, police officers are taught takedown maneuvers. That's not uncommon for police officers to have takedown maneuvers and try I can't stand it. I'm listening to myself. That's why I'm sitting here. Okay. I don't know how to change that. It's so annoying, but I'm learning, y'all. Just bear with me. Okay, so the police officer should have called for backup. They didn't call for backup when the tase didn't work. He used a takedown maneuver. It wasn't a chokehold maneuver. It looked like it was a lawful maneuver, a takedown. right? Here's how these police officers are going to spin this. Now, keep in mind that they get 24 hours to think about what happened. That 24 hours is to allow them to recover from the shell shock or what may have you from the shock of the event. And the fact that they might be in shock or experience some sort of shock is that they may have tunnel vision, which may impair their ability to recount the facts and details accurately. And so they need 24 hours to collect themselves, so to speak. I say they need 24 hours to sort of homogenize their version of events, right? Because now you've got all the attendant circumstances that you may not have been aware of in that 24-hour period, and now you can reconcile what you think happened with what you believe. Right? So I have a big objection to the 24-hour cooling off period. Why can't we take a statement from you right away at the time when you are under the duress of the event? Let's get a video recording of that, okay? And then take your 24 hours, and then we'll interview again. And then we'll see if we can reconcile whatever discrepancies that existed. But you certainly should get a whole 24 hours to yourself to figure out how you can best tell this story so it benefits you. Now, we saw that there was allegedly there was a 911 call, right? So the police officers claim that they are responding to a call of a man in a red shirt with a gun. Under the law, that's a specific district description, right? Male, black, red shirt. It's not like a with a specific location, and they go there, they see someone matching that description, okay? And so they have the right to stop them under the law, okay? It's not like it's an anonymous description, and it's not like it's just a random description, okay? So they got the right to stop him. We don't have any video released yet because there is video from the store that hasn't been released just yet. It's probably additional video that haven't been released, dash cam videos, body cam videos, or whatever may have you. Okay. I hate this sound. What time is it? I'm gonna do this till 8:30. I'm gonna do this for 15 minutes more, and hopefully I'm gonna figure out how to fix this shit. And I really want to talk to y'all, and I want y'all to be able to talk to me. And so far, y'all haven't been able to do that. Let me see something. Let me see if I can change some settings here. Let me see if I can get you to, if I can allow y'all to. All right. Some of the settings to see if I could allow your audio and video. Anyway, we'll see how that works out. All right. Okay, so how the police, how they can spin this now that they've had 24 hours to construct a narrative that works in their best interest, right? Which is so fucking problematic for me. But okay, what is gonna be said now is that he had a gun, right? Now, all the witnesses and even the video after he was shot show the police removing the gun from his pocket. And you might think, well, he wasn't holding it out, he wasn't displaying it, he wasn't threatening, and he wasn't using it in a menacing manner. The problem is that these police officers are in close contact with him, right? And you got two cops, both of them giving orders and directives. This is part of the problem. This is part of why the training is fucked up. You got two cops giving directives and orders to a man who's now on the ground. One cop has his gun out. Why do you have your gun out and that close? I mean, we saw that at the Fruitville Station, right? If you take, when he allegedly claimed that he took out his gun instead of the taser, right? Listen, we've got to have some kind of protocol when these police officers are acting in close concert. We saw it with Sean Bell. Most of those 50 shots was because police officers thought the people in the car were shooting, but it wasn't them, it was other cops. So these cops are now on him. One is by the chest area. The other cop is closer to his legs and his waist. You can see one police officer holding his left arm, trying to put his left arm from behind his back. You can't see his right arm. You don't know if the right arm is under the body, right? So these police officers are going to tell you, right, that that right arm you can't see, the right arm was reaching for the gun, which was in the right pocket, right? And that police officer who was down by the bottom, when he said he has a gun, it didn't translate to the other guy that he just had a gun on his possession. It translated to him as that he has a gun that could possibly be threatening me. And so he discharged his weapon. At that time, he's going to say, I had reason to believe my life was in danger. My partner screamed. That's not uncommon for police officers. Most of them have code words sometimes, right? I believe I had some cops once who had a code word. If they saw a gun, they say hot lunch, right? They have different codes where they can indicate to another cop that there's a threat that's immediate, right? And so he said he has a gun, and not 1 or 2 seconds later were the shots fired. And that's what they're gonna say. He's gonna say, I heard him say he has a gun. Now, one of my Facebook friends said, well, why don't we propose legislation that police officers can't shoot unless they're being fired upon, right? Let's have new rules of engagement where we specify that police officers can't fire unless they've been fired upon. And let me tell you why legislation like that doesn't work. If you're a police officer and someone takes out a gun, are you supposed to wait and actually fires that weapon at you in order for you to shoot back? I think not. I think that's in theory, in theory it sounds great, but in practice, if I'm a cop and you pull a gun out on me, I'm not waiting to see if your gun is real. I'm not waiting to see if you got bullets in it. I'm just not, right? Because at that point it's me or you, and I'm gonna choose me every day, right? I'm gonna choose me every day. So that type of legislation doesn't work. What we do need is rigorous de-escalation training as it relates to everyone. I posted a video also today of a white man. He was in some kind of fast food restaurant. He was a big white man as well, big like Alton Sterling. And the police officers had tased him several times. And I don't know what kind of drugs he was on, or just he was just super strong, but he was unaffected. And I mean, he was all out fighting, swinging, throwing blows, punching, and not a shot was fired. And that's exactly what Jesse Williams was saying. We are cognizant as a people. We are aware. We see the patience that police officers take in dealing with white people for the most part. Because don't get me wrong, there are some instances where the police officers have no patience with white people. And there are some instances where police officers have killed white kids. An epidemic. It is not on the news every other day. Okay? It is not the house that's burning. It doesn't even have a small fire. Okay? So now there's another thing that people are saying, well, they didn't read him his rights. How does he know he was under arrest? Okay. There's a reason why I don't use the term resisting arrest. Remember when I did the 5 R's or 4 R's or whatever that video, 4 or 5 R's, the don't run, don't resist, don't reach. Okay. And someone said, you left out don't resist. I don't say don't resist because it's conclusory. And it doesn't inform you about what behavior not to engage in. If I say don't resist, you're not quite sure what that means. But if I say don't run, you know what that means. If I say don't reach, you know what that means. If I say don't react, you know what that means. And so that's why I don't say don't resist. Resisting arrest could be anything from you failing to comply with an order. Say police officers are dispersing a crowd and they're like, yo, you gotta move, y'all gotta move, right? That happens a lot. Police officers are charged with crowd control. Y'all gotta keep moving down the block. And say you just don't want to move right that time, okay? that could turn into resisting arrest because you are not obeying a lawful command. Someone else said, but Ikie, how can they charge you with resisting arrest if you didn't do any crime, right? So you have to have, there has to be an underlying crime that you're going to be arrested for in order for you to resist, right? Yes, that's true. That is absolutely true. And so they will make one up, right? In New York, it's always disorderly conduct, right? It might be disturbing the peace where you from. You know, it's some bullshit. It don't take anything. I mean, it's their word against yours. So, you know, you was disturbing the peace. And when I told you to keep it moving and move along, you didn't do that. And then you resisted arrest. And so there is your resisting and your underlying crime that has to go with it. That's gonna save you because you're gonna be like, oh, I ain't commit no crime. Well, let's just add disorderly conduct. Okay. The meme. I just want to go over this meme because it's infuriating. Somebody else posted something on my page. It was some case law that they've been pulling from. You know, if you pull one case from a state from 19 whenever, and it's different case from that state and a different, and then you try to put together a body of law to make it seem as if this is what the law, current law is in the state. It's not. When it comes to resisting arrest, you cannot self-determine it's unlawful. I do not recommend that at all in no shape, form, or fashion. It's a legal determination, okay? And the case laws that they might be citing or people might be showing you is when a court has made a determination about an arrest, okay? You can't make that determination in the moment. First of all, you're not a lawyer. You don't even know what the law is. So how do you know whether you are in violation of some either code, ordinance, traffic infraction? I mean, there's so many different rules that if the police really want to fuck with you, they can find one that you broke. Okay, so you don't get to self-determine whether or not you are being unlawfully detained or arrested. Okay, and so since you can't do that, you can't then conclude, well, since I've been unlawfully arrested and or detained, I get to fight back now. I get to fight back now because that's not going to work. Okay, you're going to go into court saying I was unlawfully arrested and so I defended myself. They're going to charge you with assault on a police officer, stuff, other charges, right? Because it's a reasonable person is not going to conclude whether or not they don't have the capability or the tools or the education or the training to determine whether or not their arrest is unlawful. And even I, having those tools and those trainings, I would not confront a cop like, you don't have the right to arrest me. Oh, I'm a lawyer. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nobody bopping me on the top of my head. I don't need that in my life. Okay. Comply, because at the end of the day, you have redress. You have things that you can do in response to being violated besides just filing a complaint or filing a grievance with whatever body is governing the police in your county or state or whatever may have you, in addition to filing a civil lawsuit, right? There are a number of things that can be done, but you got to be allowed to do them. You got to be here to do them. Listen, I understand on principle. Everybody's like, fuck that, Ikie. We tired of that shit. I'm tired of complying. I don't want to comply no more. I get it. I understand. I feel you. I understand. I know we frustrated. We want to fight back. But listen, we got to do this smart. We got to do it smart. We have to do it in a constructive way. And we got to do it as a unit. And if you are not willing to do it as a unit, we can't win. Fractured, factions of us fighting amongst ourselves about what we want to do and what we need to move forward. All right? I mean, we've got to get on the same page. We've got to start to trust each other. We've got to start to look at each other and say, I'm just like you. We're the Say, and therefore I can't do violence to you, because if I did violence to you, I'll be doing violence to myself. Yeah, as a people, not just black people, as white people, as yellow people, brown, whatever color they gave you to define yourself. Who got offended from Jesse Williams because he talked about the invention of whiteness. He could have said the invention of blackness. He wasn't singling out whiteness. He was singling out the construct that is race. It is a man-made construct. And when people say, not the dumb people, but the intellectually savvy people who understand that race is a man-made construct, when they say, I'm not black, their inherent African heritage, that's not what they're doing. They are rejecting the label that racial constructs put on us for the sole purpose of dividing us. So you think you're different from me when you're not. You're not. Oh, okay. So let's see. One of the other things that I think that we need to do as a people is we need to fucking bankrupt this country. Bankrupting us. It makes no sense that 1% of the people in this country have more wealth than 99% of us, but they only can do to us what we allow. What's what we allow? And so when I talk about economic resistance, I mean, go take all your money out of Chase Bank. Find the black bank. Find the minority-owned banks in your community. There are some. They are there. Right? Start transferring your funds. You know what? Black Friday, don't go. Fuck themselves. Because those people are looking at you like you are an idiot. You are continually recirculating your dollars in other communities and getting nothing in return. But you want change. How you gonna get it? How you gonna get it? Because you promised your kid if they did well in school, you was gonna buy them something and this. Come on, stop rewarding that hard work with material shit. You're teaching them the wrong things. Value in the wrong stuff. Because somebody one day might walk away with that shit. And then what are you teaching your children that they have? If that's their entire existence is about what they work for to get. When you talk about restructuring, we have to restructure too. We have to be able to say to ourselves, you know what, the material stuff, that is not what we're here for. That's not why you came here. That's not why you incarnated. That's not why you're having this physical experience. It's not to gain stuff. It's just not. All right. What else? I think I covered, you know, I'm starting to get passionate about other stuff, and I'm gonna be on some metaphysical stuff soon. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I did want to talk about this. If I'm missing, let me see if I'm missing chats. I'm terrible with this. Okay, I don't see nothing in the group chat, but I don't know what that means. It could just be me. But y'all gonna tell me later, and I know I'm gonna hear it, and that's okay. We gonna figure this out together. Okay. All right. I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover for now. It's a 30-minute little cast with y'all, because I know I've gotten texts from a lot of y'all just expressing your hurt. And I'm with you. I'm with you every step of the way. I want to work towards solutions and figuring out how we, as a whole body, as a whole movement of people, can restructure and put change in the right places that really trickle down, that we see it. All right. It's 8:30. Thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry if I didn't do this the best way. I'm always working on trying to figure out better ways to do it. But y'all, you know, I ain't got no team. You know, it's just Ikie. It's just me. And so I'm doing the best I can. If I have to teach myself another coding application, I'm telling you, I'm gonna hurt somebody. I'm still hearing myself. I can't stand it. All right, I love you. I really do. Ikie Speaks. Please share the videos. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's remind ourselves that we have the ability to govern ourselves accordingly, and let's do that. Let's be responsible for ourselves. Let's set examples for our children so that they come behind us and they see exactly how you govern yourself. All right? I love you. I really do. Ikie Speaks. Y'all be safe. Peace. Get out.